So we've come to the end of the three-day MotoGP test here in Phillip Island, and unfortunately I have to start this with a little bit of bad news. We had a crash for Danilo Petrucci towards the end of the day. He fell between turn 8 and 9, had to go straight to the medical centre, and unfortunately he has some broken bones in his right hand. Obviously a little bit shaken up. He's going to be checked up tomorrow morning in the hospital in Melbourne, but to find out a little bit more about his condition we spoke with his team manager Francesco Guidotti. Francesco, unfortunately, well, we're speaking to you outside the clinic now about Danilo. Maybe you can tell us about what's happened and how's his hand?
He crashed at turn 8 and in lap, so very strange. But he crashed and he get hurt in the right hand. He broken second, third, and fourth metacarpal. Tomorrow morning he will have a visit in Melbourne Hospital, and then we'll make a decision if he gets surgery there, because he needs surgery, of course. If he will have surgery in Melbourne, or he will be back in Europe tomorrow or after tomorrow.
You've just seen Danilo inside the clinic. What's he like personally? I'm sure must be quite upset, quite painful.
Yeah, it's really painful, and he's upset, and it's never a good time to get hurt. So it's a shame, it's a pity, but we know it's a risk of this job.
Did the doctors, even here, give any kind of indication how long it might take until he could come back?
I asked, but it's really difficult to make a provision now. Tomorrow morning we will know more. But hopefully we'll be ready for the first race, hopefully.
Petrucci unfortunately wasn't the only crasher today. If you joined us this morning, we already had quite a few, and this afternoon as well, especially our fastest man of the day, Marc Marquez. He fell at turn number 9, a little bit of an injury. Cal Crutchlow and Maverick Vinales, they actually crashed, Cal Crutchlow crashed here at turn number 4. He lost the front. Maverick Vinales, he also had a crash under braking. All saying, look, it's kind of this Phillip Island front tyre curse where you say, the temperature really drops off. It is quite a lot chillier now than it was just a couple of hours ago, and these kinds of front end folds which come without almost any kind of warning. Well, let's hear from the three to find out exactly how they are and what happened.
Today I'm very happy because we did a big step about the rhythm, about the feeling with the bike, with the Michelin tires, and then in the end of the session we try another thing, and the time was late because in the middle of the day it rained. And then we go out. I was pushing, but I lose the front. And yeah, I'm okay, but just some I touch here in the floor and also the elbow, but okay. The rest is perfect, and what I say, I'm happy because today we did a step.
Yeah, it was a little better. Obviously, I had a crash in turn 4, but along with many people. We feel the same as normal Phillip Island. When the track temperature cools down with the MotoGP bike, we struggle from the centre of the tyre. We all seem to crash in a straight line. So I made a crash exactly like when I was racing for Ducati. So I'm sorry for the team for that, but in the end was an okay day. It was not fantastic and was not great. We are riding to the limit of our package in the moment with regards to what we can do. But overall I'm happy because I didn't push so hard today. I didn't need to. I found my pace was okay. But I know that we could have gone faster if we really needed to. But we were struggling a lot with the front tyre to make the corner because it was getting quite hot, the front tyre. But honestly, Michelin, I think, have done a good job. It's not easy to come here. It's a really special circuit. So, yeah, now I go away, have some rest, and, well, not really rest, but we are very busy in this time. And then we go to Qatar, and hopefully we can ride the new bike.
Yeah, I'm okay. Just we try a different tire, and just I think was quite cold, and I lose the front completely without banking. So for sure, I know for what I crashed. Then I come back to the track, and I was riding even fast enough with the new chassis. Anyway, I think if today we could do the last part of the day with the old chassis, I think we could ride really fast.
Another crasher was also world champion Jorge Lorenzo. Again, he said he was going out for a race simulation. The track was a little bit too cool on his outlap and he fell in turn number 10. But the main thing we really want to hear from him is, has he chosen which kind of chassis he likes? Is it this 2015-16 hybrid one, or is it the 2016 model? Which one is he going to be turning up with in Qatar?
Well, has been quite big change, no? Compared to our superiority in Sepang. Here we found some problems, but you know, yesterday we solved quite of these problems working so much on the bike. But unfortunately today we didn't have so many new tires to make a good testing. So we just have one new tire. So in the morning we just use all the used tires, and finally when we wanted to make a decent lap time, to be in the first position, start raining, and then we keep in the afternoon when dries up. We keep trying to test with the old tires, and finally when I put the new one, Liberty crashed, so I stopped. And when I tried the race simulation, the first lap I crashed. So today everything was bad, and you know, is in life and in the sport sometimes you got this kind of days that you have to just be quiet, because in the future everything will goes better. Yeah, I think for the moment the bike from last year, or the bike more similar to last year, is the best one. So maybe in Qatar we will put away the other bike that for the moment is not working for any rider, and we're going to try to improve in another way, or try to improve on other things.
And now on to outright performance. Obviously we've seen the guys go pretty fast today, but one man who says, do you know what, we still can't be absolutely sure of how quick everyone is going to be, Andrea Dovizioso, still working very much on the Desmosedici GP, still trying to fine-tune this almost brand new bike, but he has a very interesting theory as to why we still can't really tell exactly how quick people are going to be come the Qatar race.
Yes, like I said yesterday, I'm very happy because I go home with a much better feeling with the tires. I think we confirm we have a good base on the bike. We didn't work a lot about the setup because we didn't have time for bad weather, but I'm really interested to see how it will be in Qatar. It's a completely different track. I think about the pace, we are quite strong. We have a good margin to improve. I mean, I go away to Phillip Island very happier compared to before I arrived here. Sure, we have to work in a few areas, but just the race will show the reality for everybody, because the electronics is different, the tire, nobody make a long run, so just the race will tell us the reality. But I want to go in Qatar to make a step about the setup, because I think now we are in the situation to working on that.
So that's it from the 3-day test here at Phillip Island, but on the 2nd of March we'll already be back in Qatar for another 3-day and the final 3-day MotoGP test before the season gets underway again in Qatar. Fingers crossed we won't have any rain there. You'll be surprised, it does happen. We actually had a day of rain last year, only 2 days of testing. Let's hope we get 3 full days for these guys to really find the full potential of their bikes, the Michelins and the electronics. So make sure you join us then on MotoGP.com.